Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Magic Show on Friday evenings, where we learn simple things to make us smart and lazy for the rest of our lives. Lazy so that you can enjoy the time that you save on all that you learn from here, but you have to be very, very attentive while you are here with me. So don't be lazy when you're online. Our mantra for today, as always, knowing is doing. Sorry, knowing is not doing is doing. And therefore, we have to practice, practice, and practice all the time. The other housekeeping stuff is already on your screen. Future topics, you can send me a WhatsApp, subscribe tech. Past recordings are on this link that is already given. My email address is given. Your continuous encouragement and support is very valuable. For those who have not supported us, please support us at bit.ly. Please support us at tantradvik.in. And there are exclusive benefits for paid subscribers. The champion of the day last time was Mr. Santosh Kulkarni. You have to give him a big hand. And the session tips are all listed there. You will be on mute throughout the session. You can ask me questions anytime on the chat window, which must be relevant and contextual. And click on speaker view on the top right instead of gallery view to see a proper view of the proceedings. So with these few words, let us get right into the subject today. Today's subject is fake news busters. Can you give me a yes or no? Can you see my screen now? Yes. So first question, have you come across fake news? Any or you have never come across? Okay, so everybody has come across fake news at some time or the other. So how do we identify and how do we block the further spread of fake news? So let us see what fake news is all about and how we can identify it and we can block anything that goes through our hands. Obviously, you can't block the internet, but you can at least block whatever passes through your hands. Today is not a very tech session like our earlier sessions, but then I'm sure it is slightly different and I'm sure you are going to enjoy it. So let's get right into the show. So what happens when you see fake news? You have an information overload all the time. Are you having an information overload? You have WhatsApp and you have Facebook and you have Twitter and you have Instagram and you have various news sites. So everybody claims that they are giving you the right thing at the right time, but it's not always the case. They say that WhatsApp University is the biggest fake university going around the world as of today. And it's across the world. It's not only in India, it's not only in US, it is across the world. So you have fake news being bandied. In fact, I would say that today, whatever you see on WhatsApp, more than 80% is fake. So you have to be very, very cautious. So you have an information overload and you need to sift through the information to come to a proper understanding of what is happening really. So what are the various types of fake news? Let us see. The first one is an honest mistake. Suppose I do something or I say something or I write something which is an honest mistake. I may make a mistake and I may look up something and I may forward it without verifying it, number one possibility. I may write something and not verify it, second possibility. So normally an honest mistake, suppose I say Google was invented in India. It may be an honest mistake, it may be a slip of the tongue, it may be a slip of the pen. And the minute I come to know that I made this mistake, obviously I will apologize and I will quickly rectify it. But by then it would have gone very, very far. So that is one possibility. The second possibility is there could be a mischievous prank. A mischievous prank is something which is deliberately stated knowing it to be false. So you know that this is false, but you want to just make fun. So you just put up something and then circulate it. By the time you realize it has gone viral, it may be too late for you to pull it out. But this is just mischief. Just somebody might just say, okay, I want to just do something for the fun of it. The third one which we have to be very, very cautious about is real fake news, where it is intentional, knowing it to be false, with an intent to benefit or hurt. So either it can benefit me if I am the creator of the fake news, or it could hurt my opponent. It may be political, it may be religious, it may be commercial. A lot of commercial organizations also enter into fake news. So they want to put down their competitors, or they want to show their own product in a better light. So these are things which are all part of fake news. So the honest mistake you can condone, the mischievous prank you can just reprimand somebody, don't do it again, just like you are scolding a child. And the real perpetrators of fake news are those who know something is false, deliberately perpetrate it for their own benefit or for the disbenefit of their opponents. So recent occurrences, I don't know if you have come across some of these. There was something which said COVID warrior Dr. Aisha coming from South Africa dies, and there was a photograph of her going into the operation theater, and then news was that she died. Now this was all over the place and everybody had sympathy for her and everybody felt that this is a very young girl who was dying, but actually it was not Dr. Aisha at all, and Dr. Aisha, the real Dr. Aisha, never died. So we'll see how each of these is looked at. Then there was another one which said hailstorm on Mumbai-Pune highway. Now this is very, very believable. So people believed it and then forwarded it to their might. Now, of course, WhatsApp allows you to forward only 5 people at a time. But then people did forward it, 5 people, and hundreds of times it was forwarded. And the last one, of course, was Putin's daughter dies after second dose of COVID vaccine. Now, I'm sure you must have come across some or the other of fake news like this. And every one of these was declared to be fake. So let us see how we can look at each of these and how we can identify and how we can stop the propagation of fake news. The idea is you cannot kill it, but you can stop the propagation, that you do not become a tool for propagating fake news. So let us see the first one. The first thing that you use to identify is you apply common sense. Now, a lot of times the fake news is meant to either scare you, that is frighten you, or to make you angry. Basically, it is more emotional. The Dr. Aisha, young girl, doctor coming from South Africa, she died. So it evokes sympathy. Sometimes it could be religious. Sometimes it could be something else. But all the time the idea is to provoke you. Basically anger, fear, sympathy, these are the emotions on which people play on. So how do we apply common sense? Now let us see, for example, this Dr. Aisha case. It said, sorry, let's first take this hailstones on Mumbai-Pune highway. Hailstones on Mumbai-Pune highway, people, I'll just share with you the screen where it was. Now see, all the news agencies, everybody was publicizing it. ZTV was saying something, ABP News was saying something, India TV was saying something. Everything was linked to this particular piece of fake news, that there were hailstones on the Mumbai-Pune highway. Can you see News Nation? So many. Now somebody has smartly removed it because they realized that this is fake. Some Gujarati News, Gujarat Headline, News Nation, etc., etc. Now, if you see here, there is a very simple thing. One of the images that was propagated had this number plate. If you would zoom in and see, this was the number plate. And the second clue is here. I'll just play this video. Just see if you can notice something. Interesting here, when you saw the cars moving by, no, there was a lot of hailstone noise, but beyond that, could you notice something interesting? A very common sense thing. Both the cars had left-hand drive, so it could not be in India. That is the first thing that you should notice in this case. And if you see, zoom into one of the number plates, it was showing you a number plate which was absolutely not Indian. So you can make out that this is fake just by using basic common sense. If you used your common sense and said, okay, this can never be in India, and you could also see the guys who were driving, they were having a left-hand drive, which is not an Indian car. And therefore, we could immediately make out that this is fake. So you have to apply common sense. This is the first principle that you need to understand. The second thing is bias confirmation. We all have our biases. We all love somebody, we hate somebody, whether it is a political figure, whether it is an actor, whether it is a screen player, etc., etc., or it may be a singer. You have a bias. So whenever something is in favor of somebody whom you like, you will always confirm it, and that is called bias confirmation. So not everything about someone you are a fan of has to be true. So never trust something that is too good to be true or too shocking. So you should avoid this bias confirmation. That is the best way to avoid fake news. Also look for evidence. Now whenever somebody is saying that there is a hailstorm, what is the evidence behind it? We will come to the evidence part later when we go through all the techniques to identify fake news. But evidence is very important. So whenever I get a WhatsApp which I find a little difficult to believe, I always ask the sender, please tell me where you found this. Is there a website where you found it? Give me a link. 80% of the time they don't have links. So totally you just don't forward it, because if there is no evidence, you don't need to forward it. Absolutely impossible to forward it. Then you have to beware of anonymous websites that don't mention the people or group behind them. This is very important, because sometimes the evidence is in the form of a link to a website or a link to a Facebook page. And then you feel, okay, since this is on a website or on a Facebook page, this must be true. That is what you feel. So you must try and identify the source. Whenever you go to a website, there are classic cases where you go to a website. Now I just run you to a website, or rather it's a Facebook page. Now this is the name of the Facebook page. It is called Shankhanad. It sounds a little religious, so you have a feeling that this is good and it must be sensible. But I go to this page and I look at about, and I don't find, there are 1.5 million people following. Okay. But just see about, there is no avoiding war. It can only be postponed to the advantage of your enemy. So what the page says is you must have war. Okay, and there is a Twitter link also, but there is no trace of anything to do with any person, party, individual, or a group. So this is absolutely avoidable. Never look at things where there is no, where they are anonymous and there is no link at all to a particular group, political or otherwise, or to an individual. It may be a religious group, it may be a political group, it can be anyone. But you must avoid stuff like this, which is totally anonymous, absolutely anonymous. Then there are websites which are for a particular political party. I always take it with a pinch of salt. So there is something called opindia.com, which always favors the BJP. If you go into the about page, you will realize that some random names are there, but then it is today run by one lady called Nupur Sharma. Now Nupur Sharma is a known activist from the BJP, so you know for sure that anything that comes out of this place will be biased one way or the other. It will be for BJP or against the opponents. So this is one very easy way of finding out. The other is Daily O, that is the Congress runs another website called dailyo.in. Okay, now you can see immediately that here there will be lots of stuff which is in favor of Congress. So either of the groups, I am not saying that you should go to X or Y. You should not go to either because they are all biased. What we are talking about is we don't want bias. We don't want anonymity. We don't want any group or person who is oriented towards a particular philosophy or a particular frame of mind. And that makes it very simple, because whenever you are reading an article in a newspaper also, I first see who has written it. Once you see who has written it, then I know that I have to take it with a pinch of salt from the opposite side. If I know this fellow is a sympathizer of a particular religious group or a particular political party, I always take it with a pinch of salt. Not that I don't read it, but it is always taken with a pinch of salt. And as I said earlier, beware of provocation, anger, fear, sympathy. All these are emotional support for the fake news. So immediately you should sense if there is something very fierce and you're looking at anger, you are looking at suspicion, you're looking at fear, be sure that 80% of the time, again, this is fake news. So be very careful. So simple thing, how do you look deeper? So first is, of course, you ask the person who's sending it, Baba, give me the link. He doesn't give you the link. Then what happens is, first things first, Google Baba comes to the rescue. So you go to Google and you type this: Vladimir Putin's daughter dies after second COVID vaccine. This was the fake news we saw when we started. So I'll just type that in Google. So Google immediately tells me that this is fake. If you keep looking at this, Google tells me that this is fake. Can you see? Fake, 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 all these. But you know what happened is that when I asked the person who sent me this, he says it is coming from Toronto News. So I looked up Toronto Today, and this story was really there. And I felt reasonably okay, maybe this is true. But then, as I said, we always need to look up who is behind it. So I just went to About Us. And what does this website say? Toronto Today tells you what biased corporate media won't. Working class, indigenous and African Canadian people are underserved by the media. Let's change that, etc., etc. Now there is no mention of who is behind the whole thing. There is some vague name, Mark Slapinski, which again looks like a fake name. So you immediately know. So when I came to this site, I looked at About Us and I looked at Contact Us. How do I contact them? Is there a physical place where I can contact them? No, there is no physical place, there is no telephone number, there is no email address, etc., etc. So immediately you know that this is fake. Can you see the difference? It looks very, very logically, it looks very stable, it looks sensible, it looks real. But when you look at these two places, when you go to About Us and Contact, you can immediately find out that there is absolutely no link to anyone whom I can identify or who I can rely on. So this is very, very simple. This is just a simple fact check about this Putin's daughter. And when I go to Google and I see this, I see a whole lot of stuff which says it is fake. Everybody says that it is fake, 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 fake. Okay? So this is very simple. Just go to Google. For example, there was a time when the government of India said that they have done a whole lot of electrification in the first 5 years, etc., of their term. So I went to another site which is called Factly. Now here I am seeing fact checking government claims on electrification of villages and homes. Now see the beauty of this. This was the claim of the government that we have overdone whatever the previous government did, etc. But when you see the annual report of Rural Electrification Corporation, the government company in charge of electrification of villages, you see before 13-14 there is a lot of work done for electrification, and after 13-14 there is very little work done. Now, so government claims are always questionable, so you will always need to fact check. So they say these are the annual reports of Rural Electrification Corporation. So now if I go to Rural Electrification Corporation website, I should find this chart. And they are also saying that as per an answer provided in the Lok Sabha, all inhabited census villages have been electrified by April 2018. So this is the work done by the current government, this is the work done by the previous government. Now you see, when they say we have done everything, they have done only one portion of it. A lot of work has gone before that. These 2-3 years were a little low. After that, again it picked up, but it is not something what they claim. So always remember, you must fact check everything that the government claims. Okay, come back to, so simple thing, go to Google Baba and say straight away whatever you want to check, just type out and it will show you the answers. Then there is something called Google Reverse Image Search. Now this is interesting. Google Reverse Image Search. Are you able to see my screen? Can you please confirm that you are able to see my screen? In the chat box, everything is fine? Okay. Now this is something interesting. So what you do is, when you go to a particular say you go to this Dr. Aisha dies. That was another fake news that Dr. Aisha. So we have a whole lot of stuff on Dr. Aisha. This was the image that was flashed, and then when she went into the operation room, there was this image given, keep Aisha in your prayer, and I am going to die, and this and that and all. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to just first, you have to take this image. So I will use the snipping tool. There is something called a snipping tool in Windows. So you just take the snipping tool and you cut down this particular image. So I have taken this image and I save it in a particular location on my hard disk. So I saved it here, Dr. Aisha. And then what I do is I go to images.google.com. Now this is something interesting. Not many people search with images. So when you say images.google.com, you pick up the image that you actually cropped and I drop it here, or I can even so now when I search this image, I find this image. You see the number of pages that have, there is something called Sabina Dental, there is something called Indiana Palau, there's something called Serenity Mental Health Centers. All of them have used the same image. Can you see the image? They all use the same image. So how could it be? And these are images which are used in 2018. Can you see the dates? It was used in 2018. This is used in January 15, 2019. Now this news was during COVID. And they said that this is Dr. Aisha has died because of COVID. So it is very simple to check an image. Are we getting this? You can straight away just copy the image and paste it in images.google.com. This is the place. It says images.google.com, or you can even search by image. So you can pick it up. You can upload an image. You can choose a file. So the file name is Aisha, and I upload the file and it will show me all the places where this image has been used previously. And you realize that this image is absolutely false. But then sympathy, when you say doctor, young girl coming from Africa, she is dying, you go on forwarding mindlessly. You don't think at all what is happening, why it is happening, why am I saying this, why am I forwarding it. So Dr. Aisha is very easy to locate directly in Google Images. So then of course this particular site has said, see all the tweets that were there, going to be hooked to the ventilator, remember me, my smile to you. Then inside the operation theater, and then they found out all this, see this, it was actually, this particular image was used in 2013. So several people, including journalists, they shared the tweet. Now this can be an honest mistake. They realized it and then they apologized. They said, sorry, this was not the right thing to do. And therefore, this was identified. It says she has deleted a previous tweet. Turns out the account was fake. You have to be really sick to pretend to have COVID. So there are cases where they use your sympathy and do it very, very effectively. So are we getting this? Then there is the third option. There is something called TinEye extension. So you install this extension on Google Chrome and then see the fun that happens. Okay, let's go to Dr. Aisha again. Now, when I installed this TinEye extension, we had done Chrome extensions earlier. If you have not understood how to install a Chrome extension, you can go and see my video of the previous, it is long back. We had done how to install extensions. I will not repeat it right now, and you can go and see my video of how to install extensions. Once you have installed this extension, what you can do is you can right click on this, and there is something called search image on TinEye. TinEye is an image search engine. Again, it does something what Google did. It will show you all the images, where all they appeared, when they appeared. Can you see it has appeared in Op India, India Today, The Print, India Today, news.yahoo.com. See how many people have been conned. Latestly.com, theprint.in, so many places this same image has been used. So image search is very simple. Either you go to images.google.com or you just right click and say search image on TinEye. This is the other one. And the next one is called fake news debunker extension. Now this is something interesting. Now if you go again to the same image, I say right click, again this extension, it says fake news debunker by Invid, V-Verify. Now what it does is there is an image magnifier, there is an image forensic, and then you can do an image reverse search for all, Google, Yandex, Bing, TinEye, Baidu, Reddit. So it goes and identifies all the places where this image was there, and you can straight away, but there's something interesting in this particular this option, fake news debunker. There's something called image magnifier. Now see this. What happens is when you go to the image and you say submit, now you get a magnifying glass. Now you can magnify the image here. Suppose you want to see something in detail. I'm just moving my mouse rolling button. So I can actually magnify the image and see the details. If I can identify the machine here, or I can identify something in his pocket or something. Can you see this? Either you can make it smaller or bigger. You can magnify the image and see it. Number one possibility is the magnifying glass. The second possibility is inner zoom. So here you can magnify the entire image. Either you use the magnifying glass and focus on some area only, or you can use the magnifying glass and see the entire image. So this is another way of looking at fake news debunker extension. But there is more here. What we will also see, there is one option here. When you go to fake news debunker, there is something called image forensic. Now what image forensic does is it gives you, normally when you take a picture, what happens is that the camera captures, along with the picture, it captures a lot of other forensic information, where the picture was taken, what is the size of the original image, whether this is the original image or it has been changes are made to the image. All these things are captured in image forensic. Which camera took the picture, which latitude and longitude. Now with the mobile phones, it also takes the latitude and longitude where the picture was taken. So you know that if somebody is saying that this picture is taken in India, you know that it was taken in Denmark in the year 2013, and then you know the news is false. So it's very, very simple to look up an image. So either you go to, as we said earlier, you go to Google straight away, or you go to Google reverse image search, you use TinEye extension, or you use the fake news debunker extension. So these are the ways in which you can image, and these things, they don't take time. They happen instantly. You can see that I'm not doing much. I'm just clicking right click and then just looking up. That's about it. So it is very, very simple. Then this is another interesting thing. There is a free course in how to identify fake news. There is an organization called poynter.org, Poynter.org. and there is a free course. You can go there, log in, create your own user ID and password, and there is a free course. It can take you about 3-4 hours, where it will actually show you how to identify fake news. And here 2-3 things which were interesting is, they first tell you, is this important enough? A dog fallen in a gutter is not an important enough news to go viral across the world. Or something happened to your neighbor is not important enough. But if it is something which affects a large number of people, definitely it is important enough. The second question you have to ask is this fact checkable? Now this is something interesting. Is this fact checkable? A lot of times politicians have the habit of saying things which are not checkable. So they have given several examples. I have selected one example, and let us see how it works. It's very interesting. I enjoyed this. So there is this video of Mr. President Donald Trump, and let us see what he is saying. Can you see the picture online? And can you hear? If you can't hear, please stop me. Can you see the picture? Quickly tell me yes or no on the yes. Okay. And when I play it, if you can't hear the noise, you stop me. If you can't hear the voice, sorry, not noise. Trump is always associated with noise, but I must apologize.
I want to begin by expressing my appreciation to every leader in this room who has offered assistance and aid. The American people are strong and resilient, and they will emerge from these hardships more determined than ever before. Fortunately, the United States has done very well since Election Day last November 8th.
Now, is this statement a fact-checkable claim, yes or no? He says, fortunately, the United States has done very well since Election Day last November 8. Is this fact-checkable? Can you check this? Give me some answers, quick. You can check it. What does it mean? Done very well. What does it mean? You can't verify it. You can't verify. If I say United States has done very well, you can't verify it. How do you verify it? It is very subjective. Absolutely right. So you can say no. Yes, that is the right answer. Let's see further.
The stock market is at an all-time high, a record.
Is this checkable? Stock market is at an all-time high. Yes, this is absolutely fact checkable. Okay, let us continue.
Unemployment is at its lowest level in 16 years.
Is this fact checkable? Yes. Absolutely right.
And because of our regulatory and other reforms, we have more people working in the United States today than ever before.
Is this fact checkable? Because of our regulatory and other reforms, we have more people working in the United States today than ever before. Yes or no? Yes, people are divided on this one. Yes and no. So maybe I'll say maybe. See what the logic is, while the number of people working in the United States can be measured, assigning that level to specific reforms is a more difficult task. So it is absolutely difficult to identify this. So maybe you can.
Companies are moving back, creating job growth the likes of which our country has not seen in a very long time. And
is this fact checkable? Companies are moving back, creating job growth, the likes of which our country has never seen in a very long time. Yes? Okay, let's see. No. The correct answer is Maybe. See, again, the question is creating job growth, the likes of which our country has not seen in a very long time. Now, which long time? Are you talking of 5 years? Are you talking of 10 years? Are you talking of 50 years? So it is a very, very vague sort of a statement. Let us continue.
And it has just been announced that we will be spending almost $700 billion on our military and defense.
Is this fact checkable? Yes, of course this is fact checkable, because when you say you're going to spend, means you have the budgetary records and all that.
Our military will soon be the strongest it has ever been.
Is this a fact checkable statement? Our military will soon be the strongest it has ever been. Yes, no? So what the logic is, military strength might be measurable, but comparing it across historical periods is problematic. So the answer is maybe. So are you getting the idea basically? That is this fact checkable? You have to question every statement. You have to question every sentence. Politicians are very good at saying things off the cuff, but they are very smart to give you stuff which you may not be able to check yourself. Also, there are two other tests. Is this original and is this reliable? So when you get information, you get information from the original source. Suppose I say COVID tests conducted in Malaysia are saying that it is a bacterial disease and it is not a viral disease. Now, if I say it, I am not the originator of this information. So it is very, very doubtful. But if the Malaysian institute which has actually conducted the tests, that is saying this, then definitely it is going to be true. And therefore, is this reliable? Some vague institute or university in California may say something which doesn't even have a medical department. If they say something about COVID, is this reliable? Not at all. Absolutely not. So you have to be very, very perceptive in your understanding how exactly you can do a fact check. You need not be an expert, but at least these are all common sense stuff. Now, this is another interesting thing that is there on this site. You can go through this. You can. It takes about 2-3 hours, but it is a very interesting course. And it says you sign up, put it in your shopping cart. Don't worry, the shopping cart fees are 0, so you don't have to worry at all. Now let us go to this particular website. Called mapchecking.com. Now this is a very interesting website. Okay, so what it does is it gives you a Google map, and suppose you say that people have assembled at Bandra Kurla complex, say MMRDA grounds. Everybody knows MMRDA grounds in Bandra Kurla complex. Okay, this is the MMRDA grounds. Okay, now suppose a political party says that I had a huge rally here and 1 million people were there in MMRDA grounds. How do you check it? What you do is you mark the parameters of this ground. So you click here, all the 4 corners, click here and click here. So now this MMRDA ground has been defined. Now, how many people per square meter? So you say actually there were many people, maybe maximum they are saying 7 people can stand in a square meter. So maximum 3,53,000 people can stand here. How can you say that 1 million people attended? It is absolutely false. Very, very easy to check how many people attend a particular seminar or a particular gathering. Okay, it's very, very simple. You just go check up. Somebody will say, okay, reset the area. I will say, okay, go to BKC ground. So this is the ground. I check all the points. And I'm taking the maximum density that 7 people per square meter are standing. Even then, 340,000 people can maximum stand here. So how the hell are you saying a million people came? It's absolutely awesome. This mapchecking.com helps you to identify how many people can stand in a particular area. It's as simple as that. Okay, so you just say number of people per square meter. So if it is not very thinly, it is not very densely populated, that particular gathering, so you may say 5.5 people per square meter, and in which case the estimated number of people comes much less. So it's a very, very simple tool to check what the crowd can be in a particular area. Are we getting this? This is really awesome. Yes. I was really impressed by this tool. It gives you a very quick estimate of what the area is and how many people can fit into that area depending on the density of the crowd. And then they have all sorts of other things also. You can just browse around and they will show you also how it looks when you are, and this is a non-profit open source project, so you can always donate, but this is free to use. Okay. So mapchecking.com helps you check the crowd in a particular area. Okay, so you take this course in Pointer. It's a very interesting course. I would recommend everybody who is keen on doing this. It is a little bit US oriented, but it might give you good clues, especially regarding US government, US elections, etc. This is a very good tool to check facts. Then there are Indian websites. You can take help from external websites. So these are some of the Indian websites which help you identify fake news. So you go to a site called altnews.in. It is started by one Mr. Pratik Sinha, who was a software engineer, and he started this website. So let's see how it looks and what it does. So I go to altnews.in, and all sorts of fake claims are debunked here. Okay, somebody will say about something, false claim viral on social media. Then there was this, I think this was going all over the place. New Zealand PM Jacinda Ardern wishing Janmashtami quoting Bhagavad Gita. You remember? You must have come across this particular claim. And what they do is they analyze the whole thing and then they say why it is false. They just don't declare that it is false, but they will say why it is false. And the detailed view of that particular video, the woman in the video is not New Zealand Prime Minister, but American Hindu member of the US Congress, Tulsi Gabbard. She had tweeted the video for Janmashtami and wished everyone for the festival. See how things can be misled. You can be misled very, very easily. And then people were forwarding this left, right, and center. Oh, New Zealand Prime Minister has said this, that, etc., etc. So you can take help from these sites, and in this particular case, you can just come here and search for a particular event. Video from Hyderabad, falsely viral as Muslim man adulterating milk in Mumbai. And they actually do an analysis. They do a reverse search, they do a video search, they do a video frame by frame. This also came to me in WhatsApp, how the adulteration was happening, etc., etc. And they identify the antecedents of that image or the video. So it's a very, very useful tool. So they have all these sections: politics, news, science, society, education. So in science, let us see what are the fake news that is going on. COVID-19 is not a bacterial infection. Ayush, Quath or Kada cannot boost immunity to fight against COVID-19. Nanavati Hospital does not recommend lemon turmeric for COVID treatment. See, all sorts of fake news they have debunked. Even this was going all over the place. Who doesn't claim, they had said, who claims that asymptomatic patients cannot spread COVID? Isolation is still advised. Okay, so there are all sorts of stuff. Majorly just now COVID is in the news, so a lot of fake news on COVID going on. Society, religion, you have all sorts of false claims on religious issues also. And if you see the about section of them, they will say what is their editorial policy, what is the methodology they use for fact checking, how do they source the information, how do they fund themselves, what are the who are the directors. See, everything is very transparent in the whole thing. Okay, it is absolutely transparent. You know who are the directors, who are the people behind the whole thing. And they have a correction policy also. Now this is also interesting. Suppose they make a mistake, then they have a policy for correction also. This is one of the good ones. They have an app also, so you can download the app and then you can submit any image and ask them to fact check. Again, is it good enough to be checked? That they will decide, and once they decide that and they get messages from many people, they will straight away check it and give you the results. If it is true, they will say it is true. If it is false, they will say it is false. I think this also was a very viral thing. King of Bahrain arrives in Dubai with his robo bodyguard. It is a false claim. It was an old video. They have analyzed the whole thing. You can go through it in detail. It may not be possible to go through each and every item individually, but this is again very, very interesting. So altnews.in is one of the premier fact-checking sites. Pratik Sinha is the founder. Boomlive.in, again these are two journalists, Govindraj Ethiarch and Jency Jacob. Again, same thing. They have all these sorts of fake stories which are debunked. Again, they have a fact file, they have reports, fact versus fiction, etc., etc. So these are the sites, and this is available in 3 languages: Hindi, Bangla, and English. So you can look at fake news, you can look at all the coronavirus fake news. Okay. State-wise, you can check. Now, if you see here, the small icon here, they are a signatory to International Fact-Checking Network, IFCN. And if you see this small text, it says at Pointer. So the site that we talked about, pointer.org, they are signatories to the commitments which are there on Pointer also. So there are whole lot of fake news. Again, these people also have Twitter accounts, etc. So Boomlive, then SM Hoax Slayer. There is one Pankaj Jain who is running this. SMS Social Media Hoax Slayer. If you go to this site, again you'll see n number of hoaxes, derogatory paintings. See, either it will be religious or it will be political. It is Congress versus BJP, or it is. And the minute they do it, they also allow you to again tweet it, or they allow you to put it on Facebook or put it on WhatsApp also. So straight away you can put all these on WhatsApp and debunk the fake news. It's very easy, isn't it? Sorry, what did you say? Do not see the ADs on the site, which is unusual. What is ADs? I am not clear. Adel, can you please? No ads. Yeah, these are all, see again, understand one thing, there are no ads because they don't want to carry any ads. They are all crowd funded. If you go here, every item, if you go and click, every item has a donate button. So if you like a particular news, if you appreciate the work that they do, if you come at the bottom, there is a donate now. So you can just donate. These are all crowd funded. So it is the public who has to pay. Now, ultimately what has happened is all the news agencies are in the hands of powerful, very powerful, rich people. So they will serve them. So what we have to do is, if the public pays, the website will serve the public. If the advertisers pay, the website will serve the advertiser. So that is very simple. It's very simple and logical. Okay. So yes, somebody mentioned that you should watch Alt News or Boom Live or SM Hoaxslayer rather than go to the news, TV news. The TV news is now junk. I have not switched on my TV for the last 3 months. It's all junk. Then Times of India has a fact checker page where again all the fake news, fake stories, including some fake stories which they themselves carry, they keep on, they do a fact check and they have these fake news. Times of India is of course a ad driven thing, so I would not place much importance on Times of India, but the first three, Alt News, Boom Live and SM Hoaxslayer, they are really crowd funded. Then there is something called The Quint. The Quint is an independent website. They have got something called Webkoof. It starts from Bewkoof. This is Webkoof. So you are Bewkoof on the web, and they have a whole lot of fact checking stuff. Whatever misinformation is there, fake news is there. Okay, this was running all over the place. Google CEO Sundar Pichai meeting his teacher. It was a fake news, absolutely fake news. So if you notice, all these people are doing excellent work and we must compliment them and we must support them, even if you have to pay 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees every time you watch it, or as and when you feel like. You might want to do it once in 3 months, once in 6 months, once in a year, but we must support all these because they are absolutely independent. They don't have any political or religious affiliations. Then there is just, during my research for this session, I just found a government website. This is only for food related health news. So there are lots of fake news on food also. A video surfaced on social media channels claiming adulteration of salt with detergent. This is the video. And then they have given the entire information. What actually happened, standards of chocolates, allowing insects, consumption of poultry products and coronavirus. Lots of fake news is being busted here. This is Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. They have a website, and on the website, in the citizens section, they have something called a Mythbuster, where they have lots of things which they have debunked all the fake news that is floating in the market. So these are mainly Indian sites. Then Snopes.com is an American site. This is one of the front runners. Actually, before any of these were born, Snopes.com was very much in the fray. But this is more America based. But then, as you know, viral stories and fake stories are all over the place. So you will find lots and lots of stories which are, they do what they call as fact checks. And then if it is true, they say it is true. If it is false, they say it is false. Okay. Again, so many stories going around. Again, it was a very interesting observation by Idle that there are no ads on any of these. They are all crowd-funded. They are all crowd-funded. And you can submit your topic for checking, and you have all the details. The transparency is very, very high on these. Okay, if you see, Snopes.com is a very, very old site. Like I used to look up Snopes almost 10 years ago. A very old site. One of the pioneers in this particular business. And there is another American site called factcheck.org. There are lots and lots of, again, this is Public Policy Center. So then again, they have lots and lots of stuff which is talking about all sorts of fake news floating in USA. So India is not the only one, it is all over the world. And I'm sure every country must be having their own little fact-checking websites. Then there is a lot of material on YouTube and Twitter. I will just run through them because we are running out of time. There is one YouTube channel called Fake Bole Kawa Kate. This is now no longer running, but they have got very interesting stuff, old stuff. Newslaundry.com is another, again, this is crowd-funded. Nuisance is their YouTube website, where YouTube channel, where they are talking about all the false news that comes on TV, and they compare it with the actual news and they identify what is right, what is wrong. Deshbhakt by Akash Banerjee, he is one of my favorites. He's a satirist, he's a political satirist. Very few, or rather the only political satirist in the Indian scene. There are many in the US. All these people, Dhruv Rathi, he also talks lots and lots of facts. In fact, Dhruv Rathi, if you see his user base, it is almost 4.18 million subscribers, which is huge. He does a lot of analysis and he does a lot of fact checking, and he comes out with fantastic videos. Most of them 10 to 15 minutes long, very easy to run through, and he quotes the facts, he quotes the figures, very interesting. You must watch any of these. Deshbhakt by Akash Banerjee, Dhruv Rathi, then this social media hoax slayer, as we saw, they have a Twitter account, so you go there and you can ask them any questions. Commissioner of Mumbai Police also has a Twitter account which says, two wrongs don't make a right, but one right can stop a chain of wrongs. If you spot someone spreading misinformation, report it. So you can report it to Mumbai Police, Commissioner of Police, Mumbai, and they will take care to find out and confirm or identify it as fake. So there is a lot of sanity on YouTube and Twitter. These are all crowd-funded. They don't use any advertising. They don't use any group to bulldoze them. So the answer to how to combat is to question everything. Don't take anything for granted. Don't accept anything which you see on WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Ask the sender to provide evidence. Always do not forward if you don't find it credible. So let the fake news be killed in your phone itself. Don't pass it on until you are sure. If you are sure, then and then alone you pass it on. Lots of times I get news stories, I look up on Google, I look up on other news sites. Only if I find them available on other news sites, like that Toronto news which we saw, it was a totally fake website. So do not forward if it is not credible. And most important is you must educate others in schools, colleges, to your peers, family, friends. Everybody has to understand what is fake news and how to combat it. Bottom line is, do not become a tool or a fool for transmission of fake news. People use you as a tool to transmit fake news. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a slightly different session, but I felt it was necessary to. Deshbhakt seems politically biased to me sometimes. Is he neutral? Yes, Deshbhakt is very neutral. He will never tell you to vote or not vote for somebody. He will give you the facts and leave the decision to you. You have to decide. Okay, so that is what Deshbhakt always does. I hope you enjoyed the session. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can straight away ask any questions here. And if you don't have any questions, then I have a question of the day for you, which you have to be prepared for. It's a very easy question. Today's question is very easy. So keep your hands on the chat box. The one who answers first gets 1,000 rupees immediately. Tonight itself, if I have the bank details of the person, you get it immediately. Okay, so are we ready? Give me a yes in the chat. Okay, so everybody is ready for the question. What is the maximum number of contacts that you can have in Google Contacts? What is the maximum number of contacts you can have in Google Contacts? 1000 is not the right answer. 250 is absolutely way below. 25,000 is the right answer. Who's that? Edel Dower. Oh, fantastic. Give him a big hand. 25,000 is the right answer. We had done this in our Google Contacts session. And if you attend all my sessions, definitely you have a chance to win the prize. So, Edel, you'll have to give me
Sir, 1 minute. Just check the name.
Before Edel Dower, there was somebody?
Yeah, sir, Edel Dower, I think he has said 50,000.
Sorry.
Priyadarshan Pradhan is 25,000.
I'm sorry. Then Priyadarshan Pradhan is the right answer. 25,000 is the right answer. I am so sorry, Edel. But this chat box goes very fast, so it is difficult to track. So Priyadarshan Pradhan is the guy who gets it. So I don't have to send 1,000 rupees outside India. It still remains in India. Hopefully, Priyadarshan, you are from India. No, there is no unlimited. There is nothing unlimited. Everybody who says unlimited is mistaken. Google Contacts has 25,000 as the maximum limit, and I'm sure nobody has 25,000 except the big politicians. Nobody has 25,000 contacts in his contact group. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and I was thinking that this will get over in about half an hour, but we went more than an hour as usual. So I did enjoy it, bringing this to you. And during my research, I also learned a lot of new things, and putting it together was really a fantastic experience. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay protected, and goodbye. Bye-bye. See you next week. Next week, of course, you know that we have this session for this exclusive session for paid subscribers only, and we are doing LinkedIn. So if you are a paid subscriber, definitely you will get a link. And if you don't get a link within the next 4 days, please write back to me. So next session is on LinkedIn for business. And after that, we are having Google Drawings. That will be the Friday after next. Thank you very much. Goodbye and good night.